Right, let's figure out how to do this rise over run thing here, Vicky, that you're asking about. I just thought it'd be easier just to make a 2-minute YouTube on what I mean by rise over run, because we're talking about stairs. Okay, so, whoop, that's not a very good drawing. All right, so here's the rise. You just take a ruler and you measure here's the rise part. All right, so just measure how tall the stairs are. Rise means how tall each step is. Okay, and so when you get it, and what we need to do is, if you get it to, well, anyway, let me move on. And then the run part is this, the flat part where you put your foot. Okay, and in new staircase, especially where you're living in the down at the Hospital Hill Apartments for UMKC, this should be, the run is probably going to be pretty close to twice as long as the rise. Now, in old-timey steps, they were about equal to each other, and that's a little dicey for a lot of people. So the run is how long the step is. So let's do it this. So let's take a staircase like this. And this is a pretty straightforward one, okay? And so what we would do to figure out the distance you would go from here up to here, all right? This actual distance, which is how you compute your kinetic energy, all right? The height of the staircase, you just add up your rises. Okay, the height, you just add up the rise. All right, so in this case, let's say this is 10 inches. This is 10 inches. Well, it wouldn't be 10. That's a pretty tall stair, but 10 inches. And let's say, so the height in this case for my staircase would be 30 inches. All right, and I'd convert that. Just go to Google and convert 30 inches to meters. Okay. On yours, you've got 18 steps, so you can just take, and they'll be uniform. So whatever their height is, you can measure the height of one and multiply it by the number of steps. So take the height of one and multiply it by the number of steps, and that'd be, I think you said 18 in your email. So if it's 7 inches high, take 7 times 18, convert that to meters. You can go to Google and say inches to meters. It's easy peasy. All right. And then I think your runs here would be 20 inches, because that's about how they make them now. Back in the old, like the house I live in, it's pretty old, and so it's like 7 inches, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, which is steep. That makes it very steep, where they put in these nice long runs here. And so for the run, you take your 20 inches, and in your case, in mine, it'd be times 3, it'd be 60 inches. Okay, and so this whole thing here would be 60 inches, and this height here would be 30 inches. And so the distance you'd go to get from here to here, approximately, is that part of that triangle, and it's a right triangle. So the actual distance, for when you're trying to compute the kinetic energy, which is nothing compared to the gravitational potential energy of this thing, because the gravitational potential energy is going to be just all your runs added up. So on yours, you take that 18 times the height, convert that to meters, and then your gravitational potential energy is the mass that you're going to use, your mass, times 9.8, which is the acceleration due to gravity, times that height. That's your gravitational potential energy, and that's never going to change, because the heights of the stairs are never going to change. All right. What's going to change is your kinetic energy because you're going to get slower or fast. If you decide, well, I'm going to do this over 3 days. I'm going to do it twice, do it twice, do it twice, or whatever. Your kinetic energy may not change either. Okay. And so to find that run, though, for your kinetic energy, you would take the square root, because it's the hypotenuse of this right triangle. So you take this, it's the square root, and for my triangle, it would be 60 squared plus 30 squared. And the easiest way to do that on your calculator is take 60 and hit your square root key, or hit your square key, plus 30, hit your squared key. And then you've got your answer. And then when you have your answer, hit your square root key. And that will give you the distance of the run. All right? Hopefully that helps. That should help. Okay?